Part 5 of the tutorial, Rock On. This is one of my favourite parts. I love making these rocks. As long as you get a sort of a mixed blend, the rocks make themselves. They're so simple. So you just roll it, get a piece, roll it up in your hands, pull it into the approximate shape that you want. Needle felt them round the edge, which makes them stay nice and fat and round or oval or whatever you want to do, and just needle felt them around the edge. Couldn't be more simple. There we go. Let's roll up into a bowl. Obviously you make them different sizes, and you put them down either close together or with gaps. You make some slightly different shape and put them together, and you end up with lots of rocks. Okay, and it's quick, and it's a great way to fill in at the bottom of a picture, round water, things like that. Really does work. And I particularly like putting them in and near water. I think it just looks really good. Odd numbers always look better than even numbers, and I don't know why. So if you're going to put rocks together, put 3 or 5 or 7. Once you get into much larger numbers, it doesn't matter so much, but 2 just never looks quite right. No idea why, it's just the way it is. Odd numbers are much better. There we are. And by using the blended wool, the mixed coloured fabrics, you automatically get the sort of texture of rock, and you get all the sort of striations and whatever they call it when it's in rocks. But yeah, it comes quite natural. There we are. And there's the third one for that pile. And you obviously don't put them in straight lines unless you're building a wall, but if you want to build a sort of a rustic type wall, this is the way to do it. Make the rocks and pile them up one on top of the other. You want to put some in between others, but that's the way to make a wall. Now you can see here I've got a bit of white, and where the rocks are in the water, I like to take a bit of white around them. Sometimes it gets covered up when you're doing shadows or other things, reflections and things, but it's always good to put it there, because any bit that you don't then don't cover up is already there, and you don't have to try and fit it in. You notice I'm also putting a little bit of white along the edge of the bank here. It makes the water look more like water. A bit more around the rock. Yeah, that's nice. And it just makes it look as if the rock is sitting in the water instead of sitting on top of it. And when you go along the edge of the bank, between the bottom of the bank and the water, it just suddenly makes it look more like water. It's a Bob Ross trick, the white along the edge of the water, something that he used to do, and I thought, well, if it's good enough for him, it's definitely good enough for me. And yeah, it works. Just a very, very thin line of where you would see the edge of the water up against the bank there. Very thin line, just needle felt it down, and it makes the edge of the water is really good. Yep, that's working really well. Happy with that. You can also add some sort of straight bits of white, so it makes it look as if the water might be moving a little bit. Just improves the water. And you can sort of pull your wool out into a long thin bit, and you can twist it between your fingers to make it, you know, a lot thinner, and just lay it on top of the water and just needle felt it down a bit, and you can see the effect it's having. I mean, it really works. Makes the water look more water-like, that's all. And I love it. Great fun. Just love doing the water and the rocks and things like that. It's brilliant. Really love it. And here we go. A bit more. Nearly there. A little bit of white. You can use a very pale blue as well, but the white I really like. Works for me. There we are. And I think you find that the water looks quite water-like now. Sometimes when I do the water, I always feel like I'd like to go and paddle my feet. Not at the moment though, it's too cold, but yeah, when it gets warmer, paddling your feet in a lake, in a pond, it's great. I grew up really close to the River Thames, and it was lovely. A summer's day going down there as a kid, playing along the riverbank. I fell in the Millpool once on a bike. Didn't have any brakes. Rode down the hill straight into the Millpool. That was interesting and very mucky. There we go. And there's your rocks and your water, all done.